Friday, July 18th. A neighbor on Trescott Drive sees something strange out his window. Calls 911.
His driver's side window is shattered and he's battered and can't answer. He's inside, the car is running, and he's got blood all over his head. He's not responding to me.
The ambulance does eventually get there, and the EMTs see that Dan's been shot at pretty close range, and it's a mess. There's glass shattered all over the place. Dan's glasses are broken. The door of the car is still open, and Dan is, at that point, still alive. I mean, I don't think he was responsive in any way. He'd been shot at close range in the head. He's taken to a hospital, and obviously the first person that they're gonna notify is, they try to get to the parents, but then they try to get to Dan's ex, Wendi, the mother of his children.
At the time, she's having lunch with a friend, and the police managed to get her, and they said, you need to come to the police department.
There was a shooting at your ex-husband's home. Daniel, has been taken to the hospital. He's not going to survive.
Oh my God.
Okay?
What happened?
Well, before we get into everything, I have to establish where you were and who you were with and so forth.
Okay.
Okay? And then once we've established all that, I can give you more details.
Okay.
Do you understand why I wanted you to come here before I discuss this?
Oh my God. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, you have nothing to be sorry about.
I don't understand. How did this happen?
At the time, she is pretty open. She sits down for hours, and then during that time, the police look at her phone. They look at her ID. They swab her for fingerprints. Everything that you would do with a potential suspect. They never call her a suspect, and it's an interview, not an interrogation, but she does provide all of this willingly.
You're not under arrest or anything like that.
I understand why you think I'm the primary suspect.
No, you're not the primary suspect. I have to work just as hard whether you were or you're not.
My ex-husband caused me a lot of grief. I would never do something like that.
I know. And it's
So
gonna...
I understand why I would be the person you would think would do something, but
Well, we have to work just as hard to eliminate
it's
people.
fine. I want to figure out who this is.
It's natural for the spouse to be questioned extensively in the first hours of someone being murdered.
Not long after dawn, less than 24 hours after he'd been shot, Dan Markel died in the hospital.
I got a phone call or something that he had passed away early in the morning, and I don't wish this on anybody. I would have liked to be there when he died, hold his hand or something, and I couldn't. I mean, it was...
Yeah, it was very hard.
It was just literally out of this world.
Markel's death reverberates not just in Tallahassee, but across Florida. Local news is there to cover his memorial, and there are colleagues, friends, family, people from all over the country.
He's going to be greatly missed. You know, he left an indelible mark, and it's good to see how vast it extends.
We knew he had lots of friends, but what we learned is how intense these friendships were with such a huge and wide variety of people from all walks of life.
Good evening. Florida State University law professor's murder.
FSU
Professor Dan Markel
shot and killed inside his
Tallahassee
home.
police now scrambling to unravel the riddle of who killed
Police
Florida
are
State
asking
University.
for any information you're urged.
The reaction to Dan's death was enormous. I mean, earth-shattering for Tallahassee. A law professor who gets shot in his driveway and we don't know why.
And one of the things that so stood out was this cloud of fear and anxiety hanging over Tallahassee. People didn't know if this was just a random shooting or a serial killer on the loose.
No suspects have been identified at this time.
Right after the shooting, police didn't have much to go on, but they did get one lead.
The neighbor who called 911 from that house told them that he saw a light-colored car that looked like a Prius back out of the driveway and head down the road.
You said there was another vehicle that you saw driving away?
Yes, and it left the scene rapidly. It looked sort of like a Prius.
Once the police let it be known that the car that they were looking at was a Prius, it was one of the strange elements of this story as we were trying to piece together who on earth would do this to this man.
So in the immediate aftermath of this shooting, it's pretty wide open. Police were willing to entertain just about everything. Police were looking into road rage. That was a possibility. Someone had seen someone driving aggressively down the street around the time of Dan's murder.
With him being so prominent in the legal world, there was a lot for investigators to chew on.
They also looked, of course, in a college town, you're going to say, was an unhappy student? Did you get a student get a bad grade of some sort or have a run-in with him?
They just thought, my God, this happened to one of us, and another one of us might be next. Pretty scary. I walked out of my office late one Sunday afternoon to a metallic green Toyota Prius, and I confess that sent a shiver up my spine.
While all of these theories of who murdered Dan Markel were circulating, police started to think this was more personal. Maybe it had something to do with Wendi. Maybe someone who loved her.
He didn't like Danny because Danny hurt me. I see why he's a good suspect. Like, what if it's Jeff? Like, then I did this by asking for some time away from him. I made him crazy.
Your name did come up? Of course.
I was in love with this girl, man, so it's hard. I mean, she really has this charisma and this sexuality, and so, you know, you throw yourself in front of a bus for this girl.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.